recession, depression, and unemployment, this song's for you.
Today's a new day, but there is no sunshine. Nothing but clouds, and it's dark in my heart, and it feels like a cold night. Today's a new day, but where are my blue skies? Where is the love and the joy that you promised me? Tell me it's alright.
I'll be honest with you.
I almost gave up, but a power that I can't explain fell from heaven like a shower now.
When I think how much better I'm gonna be when this is over.
Smile, even though I hurt, see I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been it for a while,
What you do?
I smile.
Come on and
Smile. It's so hard to look up when you've been down. Sure would hate to see you give up now.
God's people.
You look so much better when you smile. So smile.
Now every day ain't gonna be perfect, but it still don't mean today don't have purpose. Come on.
Today's a new day, but there is no sunshine. Nothing but clouds, and it's dark in my heart, and it feels like a cold night.
It ain't easy, but
Today's a new day, but tell me where are my blue skies?
where is that love, y'all?
Where is the love and the joy that you promised me? Tell me it's alright.
The truth is,
I almost gave up, but a power that I can't explain
that Holy Ghost power,
Testing,
y'all.
testing.
fell from
Testing,
heaven
testing. 1, 2, 3.
like a shower now.
Now I know we've been hurt, y'all, but still,
I smile,
come on.
even though I hurt, see I smile.
And y'all feel
Right, testing, testing. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
that.
I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been it for a while,
Still,
I smile.
hallelujah.
It's so hard to look up when you've been down. Sure would hate to see you give up now.
God's people,
You look so much better when you smile.
let's go.
For me,
Whoa.
can you just smile for me?
Whatever you're in right now,
Smile for me.
smile.
Can you just smile for me?
And my people say,
You look so much better when you
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk at the Fan Zone. The Fan Zone's Cancer Edition for 2021. We would like to welcome you guys all to this Wednesday. As you can see, we've got Wayne Jenica in the hot seat with us this evening. Good evening, Wayne. We hope you are well. We hope you are good to share some light to our listeners. Guys, we've got a few things that we would like to say. As you guys know, I don't talk much during these shows, so this is my time to shine. But more importantly, we would like to send a huge shout out to Blended. As you can see, Blended has come on board this evening and have sponsored us some cool pink hoodies. Guys, Wednesdays we go pink, right? And we will do for the rest of October. So a huge shout out to Blended. A huge shout out to Good Friday. They've sponsored our guests every week for the month of October. So we will show you guys, while we've posted it, what exactly Wayne's t-shirt will look like. Guys, we have opened up with a song, I Smile. As you can see, we've got a new goodie that's next to Roseanne. It was our piece for our Shave-a-thon, on Sunday. So it is a Fan Zone Cancer Shave-a-thon. And we encouraged everybody that walked through that salon to write either a person who's surviving cancer or someone they have lost. So this evening, hey, yeah, we go. Bring the tissues aside. Talk to say what you're doing.
Okay, so last year we hosted a very special, phenomenal lady on our show. Her name was Laverne Adams. And we hosted her and we listened to her story. The song that we played into was one of her favorite songs. Laverne sadly passed away yesterday at 1:30. So Tony and I thought it's only fitting to play in with her song. She has lost her battle with cancer, but she was a phenomenal, strong woman who fought to the last. So tonight what we're going to do is we've taken a heart and we're going to write Laverne's name on the heart and we're going to put it in our memory frame. Laverne, you inspired so many people. And you've inspired a lot of people to fight. So in memory of you, we are going to write your name and put it on our memory wall.
I say, you look so much better when you and while you waiting, you look so much better when you and while you praying, you look so much better when you look in the mirror, you look so much better when you always remember, you look so much better when you smile. Come on. I almost gave up, but the Holy Ghost power, y'all.
Okay, guys, so as you guys know, Tony and I kicked off our Cancer Month with a shave-a-thon, which we hosted on Sunday. Tony is going to probably give you an update on that a little bit later in the show. But like she said, we have a memory frame, so if you would like to write someone that you have lost to cancer or someone that is still fighting the battle with cancer, if you'd like to come through, write the name on the heart and put it in the memory frame, please do so. We're hosting a second shave-a-thon on the 31st of October, which will be closing our Cancer Month off with, and that'll be out in Hillcrest at Deacon Salon. Guys, we've got so many sponsors that have come on board. We've got Good Friday, we've got Blended, that Tony has mentioned. We also have Glamour's Clothing, who are doing a cancer edition, so you can get all your Glamour's gear in pink. And they are actually offering 25% off if you buy it during the month of October for the Fan Zone. We got Euphoria Bespoke that have come on, and I have to also show you guys what they had at the shave-a-thon, because you guys know that that is my favorite. That's friends. That's my sakis. So basically Euphoria came on board and they had their sakis, and whoever bought a sake, they donated that profit to cancer. So thank you so much, Jody and Roland. You guys are absolutely awesome. Hey Jody. Okay, and we also have hashtag Nibbles. Guys, you can see the food is by me, always by me. So thank you. A huge shout out to Nibbles. Nibbles has sponsored the snacks for this evening. Thank you so much to the Nibbles family. Okay, so guys, as you know, last year we shared with you 4 journeys of 4 phenomenal cancer survivors, thrivers. This year we thought we would actually speak on the social impact. So in doing that, we've invited Wayne to come onto the show and share with us his journey with cancer. So Wayne is going to introduce himself. And then I'm sure everybody knows Wayne in the stream. Wayne is a familiar name, a familiar face. Wayne has been in the streams. He was with us throughout cancer last year. So, yeah, he knows what we're in for now. So Wayne is going to take us through his journey with cancer.
Evening. Fans on stream, and yeah, I think thank you to Tony and Roz for keeping up the tradition of ensuring that we promote this awareness of cancer. And like I said to the guys before we started the show, it's extremely important for me to continue to promote this because it's something I think we pay no attention to within our community, and we downplay the actual impact of cancer. Yet cancer is running rife throughout our entire community. If you just think about breast cancer alone, how many mothers, how many wives, how many daughters are suffering from breast cancer? You know, it's a real challenge. How many men are suffering with prostate cancer? But being a man, you want to suck it up and you're prepared to suffer through it rather than deal with it. So for me, this is really important, and thank you for having me on your show.
Okay, it's absolute pleasure. So for okay, so basically we did post you on, so the audience does know that you've lost your dad to cancer. So my first question that I asked most of our survivors last year was, how did you feel when the doctor told you you have cancer? And I know this is going to be a little different for you because I don't think that the doctor told you that your father had cancer. So how did you feel? Firstly, how old were you, for number one? But how did you feel when your dad came to you and said, look, I have cancer?
So I was 36 years old, and I think growing up, one always thinks, how's your parent going to die? We start right there, the tough question. And I always thought my dad would die at the age of 70. He'd get to enjoy his grandkids, he'd get to enjoy his kids. He'd get to do everything he wanted to do because he lived larger than life. That was his motto. This world is too small for me. That was his statement that he swore by. And when we discovered that he had cancer, it was actually a journey that took us down that road. His cancer was misdiagnosed 6 times over a period of 3 years. And when I knew there was a real problem, it was around 2015. I had just been on a 14-hour flight back from London, and I'd landed. And he called me to say, I really want to go to your brother's wedding. I know you've just landed, but tomorrow we're driving to Swaziland and we're going to his wedding. And so in that journey, driving with him to Swaziland, he kept almost passing out behind the wheel that I eventually took over, knowing that I'd just come off a 14-hour flight. And through that process, I started asking him a whole lot of questions, and he just kept saying, no, it's diabetes. I think I've got diabetes. And we started exploring it more and more and trying to figure out what is going on. This cannot be diabetes. There's something wrong. And it was a 2-year journey of diabetes because we just assumed diabetes, high blood pressure, the common symptoms for a man in his late 50s. That's what we're dealing with. But it turned out that the insulin and the diabetes treatment was what was actually fueling his cancer. He had an adrenal cancer, which then formed into cyclotomo, and that had attached to his femoral artery. So every time he had insulin, the adrenal gland would increase and cut off oxygen supply, and he'd pass out. And that's where we started to say something else is wrong. But again, being a man, being a strong man, being a mighty man who felt that, there's nobody like him in this world, he can take on the world's challenges, he refused treatment, he refused to look at it, and we literally had to beg him to go in and get it checked. And that's when we discovered his cancer.
Okay, Tony's working on the sound, guys. He's just trying to pick up where the static is. But can you guys hear us? Are we audible?
Testing, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Take this out. Okay, so Wayne, while Tony is trying to figure out what's going on, is the sound on my mic, Tony? Okay, so I think that everything's sorted. Guys, how's the sign now? How's the sound now? Take the speaker out there. Okay, so Wayne, so by what I'm hearing, you guys actually went through the process of diagnosing your father. So, at that point, when you realized it was cancer, how did you feel?
When we actually realized it was cancer, I think the hardest part was everybody broke down, and like I always said, there always has to be the one person who has to take charge of the situation, and unfortunately, immediately that became me. So whilst everybody was having a meltdown, personally, I didn't allow myself to feel anything. I didn't allow myself to have any emotions about it. All I wanted to know is, how do we deal with it? I think the hard part is you already got a plan, because you know, okay, there's options. You got chemo, you've got this, there's various treatment methods. Until I actually researched it and I got hold of his medical records, and then I realized actually there is no treatment for it. His cancer is so rare; it's 1 in 10,000, and that's when I was like, okay, so now I need to start dealing with the next emotion, which is, what is the next phase? What is the next step? And I think that was the hardest part. Witnessing somebody go from 120 kgs down to 45 kgs. You start dealing with those emotions.
It's the visual.
It's the visual.
So you can see it. You can see the deterioration. At what stage was his cancer when you guys realized that it was cancer? Was it at a stage where you could say, okay, you guys can have treatment, these are your options?
They estimated it at around stage 3, but they were quite frank and said, we actually believe it's stage 4. They presented a treatment option, and they provided him with a clinical trial option, at which stage my dad turned around and said, if this is my demise, then that's okay. And that was the tough part, hearing those words.
Okay, so are you saying that he refused the treatment?
Correct. He refused treatment. He said, it's fine. It's not for me.
And how did you and your siblings feel about him rejecting the treatment?
You know, I think we all want the best for our family members and loved ones, and we all want to ensure that they get the best treatment possible. But I also knew my dad, and I knew his wishes, and at that stage, I had to start accepting that this is it. What we didn't know was how long, and that was the tricky part. Some doctors said, look, 3 months. Others said, okay, we suspect a year. But there was no conclusive answer. And generally with cancer, they're quite accurate. But in this case, because it was such a rare type of cancer, the answer was, we actually don't know. Take each day as it comes.
Okay, so previously when I've chatted to other people about cancer, there's a diet that you have to go on.
Yep.
You have to eat clean, stop drinking, stop smoking. Did your dad take those steps?
So he had been a sportsman his entire life. I mean, he strived around sports. Sports was what he lived for. Outside of work, his life revolved around sports. He completed 25 doozies. He was always living the good life. But he was an overweight man. He was living a good life. He loved beef. Beef was his, steak was his thing. He would eat steak, breakfast, lunch, and supper. And that was the first thing he had to cut out. He used to eat 5 to 6 bananas a day. That was the next thing he had to cut out. So immediately his life changed. He loved eggs. Eggs was the next thing he had to cut out. And that's when he said, if this is the way I'm going to live, then what is the point of me being here? So I think by then he was starting to give up. But, you want to try and be there, and you want to try and reassure that person that, look, it's not the end. There's still hope. There's still options. Whether or not there is an option, it's your job to just be there to reassure. But by reassuring them, you're not actually reassuring him. I think he already knew his fate. You're reassuring those around you.
Even with COVID, like with a lot of illnesses, the mental battle is a large percentage of of whether you survive or whether you actually succumb to your disease. But I know that, and from speaking to on Sunday we had Lakesmith and Partners that were also at the Shaveathon, and they spoke about breast cancer, and they spoke about breast cancer being hereditary.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the type of cancer that your father had was rare.
Yeah.
Is it hereditary? Is so between you and your siblings, is there anything that you guys have to do or any signs that you have to watch for being an hereditary cancer?
Yes, it is hereditary. Obviously, there's a 50-50 chance in life with everything, but being hereditary, immediately you start to become cognizant of things. I had a back mole which I ignored for years, and all of a sudden it was the most burning issue in my life a few months ago. If I look at where my dad's cancer developed on his leg and where it was the worst, that was the right point, that's the part that took him. I noticed a little pimple, I thought nothing of it. I left it for a few months became a year. After a year, I looked at it again, I said something's wrong. And immediately all those feelings and emotions came rushing back. And when we took a scan of it and I overlaid his scans, it was in the exact same place. So you can imagine the feelings you get. And yes, you're always going to think, is it my time? Is this me? Did my dad have it in his late 30s and he ignored it as a pimple or something and it developed into something bigger that he ignored? But I think in everything, you just got to be cognizant of it. And that's why I say talking about it is very important to me, because we try and hide these things, you know. Like with COVID, we saw it through COVID. I worked in the heart of COVID. Somebody got COVID. It was a big secret. It was shameful. There's nothing shameful about getting something you didn't ask for. As I always say, you didn't wake up one morning and say, "Dear Lord, please bless me with cancer. Please bless me with COVID." Nobody does that. Nobody wants that in their life or for their family members. But in our community, it becomes a shameful thing to talk about it. And that's what gets me. And that's why I'm so happy to talk openly about it.
You know, there's so many, it's listen to your body. And this is exactly what we spoke about the whole month of October last year. Listen to your body, listen to the signs. And there's lots of people that will go, "Oh, it's just a cold," or "Oh, it's just this." Or if you have it in your family, if it is hereditary, go and check it out. It's going to cost you nothing. What I wanted to find out, how old was your dad when he was diagnosed?
We knew he had issues in 2015, so that would have taken him to about 45 years old, 46 years old. We knew there was an issue, but he chose not to deal with it. He did not listen to his body. He just said, "It's fine. I'll be okay." He died at 60. So he lived for 5 years knowing, and we suspect he knew, because you know your body. Like you say, listen to your body. Your body's telling you something. We know he knew something, but he hid it from us. We only discovered it in the last year and a half.
Okay, so
at 48, we
48.
discovered that there's a real problem, and that's when we knew it was cancer.
Okay, so he lived for how many years?
He lived up to the age of 60. He died 2 weeks after his 60th birthday.
That's a long time. And he didn't. So when you look back now, do you think that if he had gone for the treatment, he could have won the battle?
Definitely. I mean, if I have to take it all the way back, I would say 7 years before that, he had a massive high blood pressure issue where his nails literally lifted off his fingers, and we couldn't understand it. And we knew he was under pressure. He was running a business. The economy was tough. So everybody just said, it's the stress of the business. In hindsight, and you know, hindsight is always the best side, it was actually the start of it. And when he was in hospital, the doctor says, we should just do a full, nope, I'm fine. Just get me out of here. I don't want to be in this hotel. Get me back to home. I need to go run my business. I need to get back to my farm. I need to. But he never said, I need to just stop and see what's wrong with me.
Okay, and you just had a scare. You just told us about that now. How did you feel?
I don't get scared for anything. And I think in our interactions, you guys know that fear is one of the last things. Unless there's a snake in the room, fear is one of the last things on my mind. Very little scares me in life. But having to deal with that situation, it was very scary. The GP actually didn't know. He's like, I don't think I can take this mole off you. I can't cut it. And I said, give it to me, I'll do it myself. And he says, no, but you can't. And I said, give it to me, I'll do it myself. You're not prepared, so I'm going to do it because I need to know. I want to know. And he knew about my dad's situation. He wasn't my dad's GP, but he knew. And I think his fear was, what if it is? Because when he looked at the scans, he immediately saw it, and he didn't have to say it. And being in medical for the last 4-5 years, you can read a doctor's impression, you can read his face, you can read his mind, you can read his body language. And I could see fear in his face. And that's when he said, I'm not prepared to do it. I said, well, fine, I'll do it myself. And I started injecting myself. And he's like, no, I'll do it then. If you really want to know, I'll do it.
Okay, so how often do you go for screenings? What is it, screenings?
Screenings. So until this year, this has been my first time. And the reason why I did it was because it hit home. And, being the one that had to deal with everything in the family and, make sure everybody's okay, you forget about yourself very quickly. But I quickly realized this year alone and post-COVID, I realized, actually, wait, hold on, I need to take stock of my own life. I need to be around for the next few years for my kids. What's the point of ignoring everything if I'm not going to be here?
Okay, how many siblings do you have?
So I've got one brother and then 2 half-sisters.
Okay, so...
And the cancer's hereditary to men.
And the hereditary men. Okay, so was there... Because we're dealing on the impact that cancer has on families, what type of impact do you think it had on you and your siblings? And did you guys have to sit down and discuss, okay, no, wait, Dad doesn't want to go for treatment. What are we going to do? Are we going to force him? Are we going to talk to him? What type of impact? What did you guys have to do in order to get through this journey with him?
So when we had received my dad's diagnosis, by then we had known it's far too gone because he wouldn't be able to walk more than 12 steps, He would struggle with basic things like sitting in an upright position. It was too much for him. He had a business, he had a farm. There was a lot going on, and we were never really involved because he was dad. He just took care of stuff. We were just there to make sure where he needed assistance, we assisted him. And so my brother and I, being the oldest, we immediately had to start taking care of everything in terms of his well-being. His household became our household. His business became our business. His farm became our farm. His fuel bill became our fuel bill. Everything was inherited immediately, and it was extremely disruptive. But somehow we chose not to think about it. We just wanted the best for him because we knew that stress was going to kill him. And every time he's stressed, that's when he had an attack. So all we did was we started to shield him, and that's, I think one of the hardest things is shielding your parent or that loved one from the real world. And they're stressing about it. You'd ask, was this done? Was this job completed? Is this client happy? But why isn't anybody phoning me? And, we had to go to his customers and tell them, listen, this is the story. We are now going to stand in for him, hoping he'd be here tomorrow, but we don't know. And I think the shock for everybody was, Matthew got cancer? That can't be. He's Matthew. He's the guy who wakes up in the morning and decides, screw it, I'm going to run a Comrades. And he'd get in because he had so many under his belts. Or I'm going to go and do a doozy. And people would laugh. But there he is on the river, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm doing a doozy. What do you mean, what am I doing? You got no right to tell me what I'm doing. That's how he lived his life. And that's why I say his motto was, this world is too small for me.
I just thought of something that you said. On Sunday, Tony, coming home in the car, we started talking about cancer. And Auntie Sybil said she knows somebody that had lung cancer but never smoked. And I think it's a misconception that we have because someone is healthy and athletic and is sporty or is eating healthy that they're not going to get cancer. Because the facts of the matter is some cancers are hereditary. So at some point, something will happen where if it's an hereditary cancer, you're going to get it. It doesn't matter whether you're healthy, whether you are what. You can minimize your risk. You can. But it doesn't mean because this person is healthy, he gets up early, he eats all his veggies, that he's not going to get cancer. And I actually said I also knew someone that never smoked a day in their life, but they had lung cancer. And then you can get someone that smokes 20 cigarettes.
And will live to 80.
And will live to 80 and won't get cancer. So back to that, listen to your body. And this is what we spoke about last year, diagnosis. Listen to your body. If there's something that's amiss, go and have it checked out. But the thing that struck me with your story is it was misdiagnosed.
Correct.
So if you had Do you think that if you had gone for a second opinion when it was misdiagnosed, they would have picked it up?
So, being in medical, exactly that. I went back and I spoke to other clinicians and other specialists around me, and I said, this is the type of cancer he had. What options would you have presented? Being a clinician, been doing this for so long, and they said, misdiagnosis happens, we're all human. They try and calm you down based on your anxiety about what's just happened. And one of the immediate options, they said, okay, it was adrenal, was his femoral artery. You could have had an amputation and still lived.
Did your
But because it wasn't diagnosed, it had spread.
Okay, so did your father at that time know that it was hereditary?
No. So we only discovered it was hereditary in stage 4.
Okay.
Because by then we were able to correctly diagnose the cancer.
Okay, that makes sense. So, how do you feel now? Do you feel between your siblings and yourself? Do you feel cheated that he did not want to have treatment? Do you?
Definitely. We all want our parents to be alive for as long as we're going to be alive. I always recall, you go to a funeral or something, and the common statement is no parent wants to bury their child. But the flip to that is no child wants to bury their parent. And you've got 2 young kids, and my oldest was very attached to my dad. That even up till now, you'll hear songs on the radio and you say, I don't like that song, put it off. And I'll be like, wow, what's wrong? And he's like, no, because it just makes me sad. I think of grandpa. My youngest knows that he had a grandpa, but he doesn't actually know who he is, 2 years old. So he doesn't. So I feel like they were robbed of all the things we did growing up. My dad would take us camping, we'd go fishing, we were the outdoor kids. We were the kids that every other kid envied because they wanted to do what we did. And I always had hopes that, we're busy in life is different now. My dad would be that person, would stand in and do all of those things. And my dad would always say to the boys, one day I'm going to take you on the boat and we're going to go fishing. And they always wanted to go on the boat and go fishing, but they never got that opportunity to go on a boat with him to go fishing. Now we do it as a family, and we go out, and my son would be like, yeah, but grandpa's not here. So he has an expectation that one day grandpa would come back and take him on the boat and they would go fishing. And so that's what I feel the most robbed by.
Your kids might be too young, but do they know that your dad passed of cancer?
We have told them and we've explained it to them because, again, we want them to be informed. We don't want them to think the tooth fairy came and took him away. We tend to mask these things, especially with kids. We tend to mask that your mommy might have breast cancer. We tend to mask what the situation is. But what we're actually doing is we're discrediting their thoughts, their feelings, and their emotions. Once I had told him this is what cancer is, he still doesn't really understand what cancer is, but he knows grandpa died of cancer. So when he hears at school that somebody else's mom has cancer, or somebody else's dad has cancer, or somebody else's grandparent, I want him to be empathetic towards that situation so that he can actually go, okay, so they could die. What happened to my grandfather could happen to this kid. How do I support him? And they're young, they're 8. But at least they can get that empathy around the situation.
That is, I was actually just thinking when you said that when you spoke about empathy, and the one thing that through this last year, almost 2 years with COVID, we have experienced such a lot of death around us. And we spoke about this in one of our shows. Just be kind. You're going back to school. You're going back to your work environment. There's people that have lost parents, not just a parent. There's people that have lost parents and grandparents. So I think we are moving towards that kind of empathy that just be kind.
Yeah.
People are going through a lot and we don't know about it. Okay, so I'm going to bring this to a close. What I would like you to do is I would like you to write your dad's name on the heart, and then we're going to put it in our memory frame.
Right, guys, we are back to lighting up the comments department. So those of you who are new to the stream, welcome to Let's Talk with the Fan Zone. At 20 to 7 on our Wednesday shows, we would normally play... Just wait for the song. We will normally play a song for our guests, and then the guys in the comments department do the most. So with it being the fan zone is going pink for October, I think it's only relevant that we send through pink hearts, pink flowers, and we just blow up the comments department. Wayne is going to actually see this, and we just have to support Wayne, his family, as well as whoever else is in the stream and might be going through the exact same thing. So we are going to play Wayne's song. Now guys, when I say Wayne's song, this is a song that reminds Wayne of his dad. So we're going to play that for him. And then you guys are going to do the most in the comments department.
Who draws the crowd and plays so loud, baby? It's the guitar man. Who's gonna steal the show? You know, baby, it's the guitar man. He can make you love, he can make you cry. He will bring you down and he'll get you high. Something keeps him going miles and miles a day to find another place to play. Night after night, who treats you right, baby? It's the guitar man. Who's on the radio? You don't listen to the guitar man. Then he comes to town and you see his face, and you think you might like to take his place. Something keeps him drifting miles and miles away, searching for the songs to play. Then you listen to the music and you like to sing along. You want to get the meaning out of each and every song. When you find yourself a message and some words to call your own and take them home. He can make you love, he can get you high. He will bring you down and he'll make you cry. Something keeps him moving, but no one seems to know what it is that makes him go. Then the lights begin to flicker.
Okay, so guys, I would like to just highlight a few things. So on Sunday at our Shave-a-thon, we had a few people that shaved their heads off, donated their hair in honor of a family member that they've lost to cancer. We had Adiba. Adiba lost a mum to cancer, and she shaved all her hair off and she donated it to cancer. If you went onto our fan zone page, there are a few pictures on there where you would see. We had Terry. Terry cut 25 centimeters of her hair off in honor of her dad. We had Allison. Allison also shaved and donated, was it 25 centimeters? In honor of a family member that died. So we had quite a few people. Oh, and we had Cecilia. Cecilia also shaved her head in honor of her son. Guys, you know, I was saying to Tony before the show that before we started delving into cancer, we didn't realize how many people around us were actually affected by cancer. So last year we had that Chinese Lantern where we asked you guys for names of people that have passed of cancer, and we did that whole, at the end of it, we did that whole show where we had the Chinese Lanterns go up and the names, and obviously the person who requested the name was on there as well. So this year, Tony and I had the idea, it was actually supposed to have been in our heads. We thought of a garden and flowers. So I said to Tony, what can we do? So we thought we'd do a garden with all different types of pink flowers, and then we'd obviously put the person's name on. Oh, sorry, Tanu also cuts 25 centimeters. So Tony and I phoned up my sister to find out, look, this is our idea, this is what we want to do. And my sister, all our little ideas put together actually came up with this frame. So my sister got in contact with the lady that she deals with to make this frame for our cancer survivors and thrivers and those that we have lost to remember them by. And she sends us a picture of the frame, and we were like, beautiful, we love it. And when we received the frame with one pink heart. And on that pink heart, it had the lady who made the frame's name on. The lady who made our frame actually has cancer. So because my sister told her what we were doing, she made one pink heart and she wrote her name on it and she put it in the frame. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it from there, but the pink heart is here. So Tony and I were like, what are the odds? What are the odds of us having this idea, asking someone to make it, and the person who made it actually has cancer? Her name is Debbie, and she's from Bluff Hobbies. So this beautiful frame that we actually got from Bluff Hobbies. So if you come to our Shave-a-thon, you would get a chance to write the name of the person that you want and put it into the frame.
I'm whooping, guys. I'm whooping.
It's
I'm not
the
angry.
Nibbles food.
Guys,
It's the Nibbles food.
The food was sponsored for us to eat, not for it to be displayed. So I'm so sorry, guys. If all you guys will be seeing me doing during the month of October is crying and eating, because that's my only function here in the show. Okay, so Roz has the Good Friday tea, right? It says faith over fear. Good Friday's come on board, as you guys are well aware, and they have sponsored our guests for the month of October. This beautiful Cancer Edition t-shirt. It's also up for sale. You guys can catch it on their Facebook page. It's Good Friday Concepts, as well as message us for the number should you wish to purchase it. So Wayne, our first one up, will get this beautiful tee. Hopefully he'll send us a picture of him wearing it as well. With that being said, Glamours has also come on board, guys. We would like to thank Glamours for all that they do for us as well, especially behind the scenes. They've also changed their logo as well. And if you see on the Fan Zone page, they've got a limited black and pink tee that is also on sale. You will only get it for the month of October. And they're giving our listeners, our viewers, anyone associated with the Fan Zone, a 25% discount on that. So please, guys, go out and check their page. Glamours Clothing on Facebook. You'll also catch the t-shirts, images on our Instagram page as well as our Facebook page. I think that is it. Oh, guys, I need to drop a video. I officially went to Deacon's... Take it? I officially went to Deacon's salon today. Now, for those of you who have been watching our Facebook posts, Deacons will be hosting us on the 31st of October for our second Shave-a-thon. They're up in Hillcrest. Guys, Hillcrest is like another country, I'm telling you. The sun was shining, no, not shining, but like the sun was shining or breaking through the clouds here at home in this country. And then when we were driving through, it was just mist. Like we couldn't see what was moving and shaking there, whatever. It was my mom and I, because obviously Roz was at work. So we went to go, well, Sybil knows exactly what it looks like. It will be our first, was my first time there. It is stunning, guys. So we really hope for those faces that we missed on Sunday, even the faces that we did see on Sunday, if you want to come check us out in Hillcrest and create a vibe and do what you need to do for cancer with us, come take a few pictures, come spray again, you're more than welcome to join us. It's actually in the center. All those details are posted on the Fan Zone page. You guys can check it out. But later I will be dropping that video.
Okay, so guys, as you know, last year we made a total. So this year, we want to beat that.
At least I finished all my food in my mouth before I started talking. You know, I'm just saying.
We got visitors, Tony. Behave. Behave. So, guys, what we also need to mention, what we need to push in our shows this in the next 4 weeks is the eye care bag. Some of you might be familiar with the eye care bag. Kathy Veer heads up that project. It's an eye care bag that has items for chemo patients. So one bag costs 250 rand. You purchase a bag, you'll get a chance to write a note in the bag for the person who's going to receive the bag. It's 5 items. Each item is specially made for chemo patients. So I think it's, what is it, a lip balm? It's stuff that they would need while they're going through chemo. So one bag is 250 rand. We actually have a target for that as well. So if you do contact Kathy Veer, just let us know so we can... She will let you know that it's from the fan zone, so we'll keep count of that. We are still taking donations through the month of October. You can deposit straight into Cancer's bank account, but you will use our reference, which would be the fan zone or TFZ, just so they know that it's to go to us. Are we going to tell them how much we made for our first? It was published.
I think so, guys. Can you believe it? The fan zone is trending for the past 2 weeks. So not last week, the week before, we were in the Rising Sun. I see this week we are in the North Glen News. So for those of you who don't receive that paper, we've also posted those details on the fan zone page. So Melissa, you have given us 2 names. I'm going to actually ask Roz to write the 2 names. I think it's your grandpa and your father-in-law, and we're going to pop it in the frame for you while we're on the stream. If you don't mind, we can do that for you right now. Guys, we have a swipe machine as well. That we will be taking to our shave-a-thon. So if you don't have cash on you, you're more than welcome to come and swipe. Remember, it's a cut, shave, or donation starting from $50. So come through. The spray, guys, let me tell you something. I sprayed my hair for the first time. Remember, I was an MC for a wedding 2 weeks ago, so I had to cut my hair. So on Sunday, I sprayed my hair, and I will try and grow as much as I can for it to be shaved on the 31st. Guys, the spray, 1 wash, 2 washes at a time, and it's all out. I was actually quite stressed. I thought that this thing was going to bleed on the sheets and on the towels and all in the bathroom and all those goody things, but we were hundreds, good to go. So I was back to normal for Monday for work. So don't stress about for it not coming out. It does come out.
Okay, so guys, yeah, I was also looking at that and thinking of that. Do you remember we had this conversation with Jolie? And Jolie did say the elephants and the mom plays are related along the way. We've had this conversation. I even asked my mom. I was like, Mom, are we there to the elephants? And basically, magician background, yeah, it's there. It's there somewhere. So, yes. Okay, so guys, our target for the month of October was 10,000. So last year we made... Yeah. Just on the cash. So last year we made 10.5. So we wanted to beat that. I think our target was 12,000. So we've already made 8,000. So, and then 1,000 then came in today. So guys, our target was 10,000. So now I'm thinking that I'm sure we can push for, am I being too ambitious in asking for 20K?
I'm sure we can make a plan, guys.
I'm sure we can make 20K.
We do the most. So in those 4 hours, we managed to scrape up 8,000 in that shave-a-thon that we held on Sunday.
Guys, that was 4 hours. That was 4 hours, and there was just cash at the shave-a-thon. So we don't even know EFTs yet. So, guys, if you guys can help us, I'm sure we can put together at least 20,000 for cancer this year. Are we aiming too high? No, but you should aim for the moon. And if you fall among the stars.
Guys, let me just tell you the amounts of support and even just the messages that we have been receiving. Sorry, Wayne is like decoration here for us, guys, for the rest of the show. But more importantly, before I jump into all those things, we would like to thank you, Wayne. Guys, for those of you who have followed our journey, you always will hear us speak about our IT guy, our IT guy. Our IT guy now,
That's
now
right.
has a face now. He comes into our streams. He's always...
He's not only our IT guy, he's our go-to guy
Yes,
for
but over and above
everything.
that, this guy has been our friend, guys. So he's not one for the camera, but yeah, he is. Thank
Okay,
you so much.
so guys, I did actually have a word with him when he walked in because Wednesdays are pink
Yes,
Wednesdays.
we go pink. The fan zone goes pink on Wednesdays.
Pink Wednesdays. So, yeah. So Wayne got a little bit of a stern talking to when he walked in. Guys, I don't know if you've noticed. So we're going pink Wednesdays. Most of our small businesses that we've partnered with have jumped on the wagon and they have changed their logos to pink. So, guys, if you own a business or if you are going to be wearing pink, as you can see, my nails are pink. And if you're going to be wearing pink,
Don't
send us
even
your
go to
picture.
those nails. How you
Oh,
are
please.
hyperventilating for that color.
But anyway, send us a picture. We would like to post you guys on Pink Wednesdays. Let's create a movement for the month of October. Cancer is serious. Like I said, when you start speaking about cancer, you realize how many people have actually gone through this or on a journey. So let's create the awareness. Go pink on Wednesdays, guys. It's only on a Wednesday. Change your logo, pink nail polish, pink lipstick, pink attire, whatever you want to do. But when you're wearing your pink, take a picture and send it to us so we can post.
Because Tony was raised by her gran, Sybil, by her gran. But anyway, guys, we've got 4 minutes till the top of the hour. Can you believe it? The show has like disappeared. And we're not going to waste any time here hanging about getting famous. As you can see, we've got a platter that we need to dive straight into. So, guys, we are going to say goodnight to you. We're going to play out with one of Roz's favorite group bands. It's a band, baby. And we will catch you guys. No, I don't think we're streaming Sunday, but we will catch you guys on Wednesday. Roz is going to dive into those details.
Well,
She's gonna
if
spoil
something
it.
happens before Sunday, then we need to speak to the... we need to speak to people about it. I mean, things happen. I mean, I fell. We wanted to speak to the people. Things happen. So if anything happens during the week, maybe you'll catch us on Sunday. But guys, I wanted to say next week we are going to be hosting a beautiful young lady. Could I say young? Anyway, her name is Avril Jacobs, and she's going to be sharing her journey with us. She had lost her sister to breast cancer. So we would need your support because she's going to come through and she's going to speak to us about losing a sibling to cancer.
Roz, can you just share with the stream what has been the common response when we have asked the guests if they would like to come on board?
Guys, we've asked 4 people to come on board, and I think that in one of the other streams we spoke about the 4 people that are going to come on. Guys, last year I asked a few people. I asked Avril and I asked someone else if they would come on and speak to us about their journey with cancer, and they refused. And then we went to our cancer month.
It's my birthday on Monday. How can we not stream on Sunday?
That's what I said. If something happens in the week, we are going to
guys,
stream.
Sorry,
Okay, no, wait. I'm still talking. Anyway, so guys, Tony and I were so overwhelmed. We messaged Wayne, we messaged Avril, and we messaged, the other 2 people. And all of their responses were, I haven't spoken about it. I'm not ready to speak about it. But if it's going to help someone else in their journey, I'm going to do it. I'm going to speak about it. So, guys, that was absolutely awesome. So we thank you, Wayne, for coming through and speaking to us about your journey with cancer. It's never easy to speak about losing a father, a mother, a sibling, and not only losing them, because if it's in an accident, it's sudden. But when you go through the journey with them and you see what cancer has done to them, it's a lot harder. So we thank you for your bravery coming to speak to us. So now we are back to the countdown.
Guys, let me tell you something.
Guys,
wait,
wait,
no,
wait,
no,
let-
no, no.
let
You had
me
your chance
tell
to
you.
speak. No,
Wait.
no, Roseanne, it's my turn to
We're
talk.
fighting over Wayne.
It's fine.
Behave.
He's
So
useless.
usually,
No, Roseanne, don't do it.
As you
no,
all know.
Roseanne, I will cut this to you. Just go. So, guys, listen to this. We have been so busy with cancer. And there has been such a buzz and such excitement between Roz and I with the
that she forgot to count up for her birthday.
From the 1st of October, it is like tradition. I will post a selfie every morning, well, every day with the countdown and then say a little goodie thing, whatever. But it's like 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, 1 day, whatever the case may be.
Ooh, and
Roseanne,
Facebook.
just hold on, man. Wait.
Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp went down. Tony was cut. So just saying.
You are screaming at people.
Okay, so she was
So
saying.
yesterday, my sister says to me, and quite like we weren't even in a conversation. She just blurts out, "How come you don't count down for your birthday anymore?" I was like, "Oh no! You mean to tell me that the rest of my Facebook friends are actually acknowledging that there has been no countdown?"
Yes, we did know. I was even trying to count down for you. And yes, on Sybil, Tony gets super excited and I also get excited. I feel like it's my birthday too.
But guys, like I'm gonna be 35, but the vibe is still, I still get excited, guys. But we have just been I've been excited in a different vibe, if I can call it that, with our Shave-a-thon kicking off, and then the responses that have been coming through, and then now we're gearing down for the shows in between, and then we're gearing down to our last one. So, sure. We can celebrate our birthday at Deacons on the 31st, my birthday at Deacons. They did say that we can have a ply and all those things. And there's been...
Are you serious?
You don't believe.
I was just going to say, this is like the first year we have not had a party for Tony. Last
Listen
year.
here, Shoda, you coming? Jeez, you old. But you were asking for cake just now, so they want
A
a
pink
pink
cake.
cake. So who we having next week is going to be... Guys, I don't think really we're going to be streaming on Sunday. Maybe Monday we'll jump into a Young Live and we'll do all those...
For your birthday.
Yeah. You
We'll
can
sing. We'll sing live for you.
Yeah,
we need
but,
a cake.
But it's going to have to be pink. It's fine. We wear pink now. But yes, okay, so it's 7:01, guys. We are going to say goodnight to you. Is that all? We've wrapped up everything. Mrs. Govender, you are late for the early show. I'm just putting it out there. Right, guys, we are out. Wayne, thank you. Would you like to say anything? Now he's shy. I don't know.
Because he's not wearing pink.
Let me tell you something, guys. I was watching Wayne while he's talking. That old gripped the mic. I'm like,
I was
don't
also
know
watching.
if you were shaking or what's going on here. You're right.
No, but he came in there and he says, "No, I'm good. I'm good.
good,
No, I'm
yeah,
good."
but you-
But the mic, the tension was. Yeah.
Guys, we are out. We love you guys a lot, and I'm sure Roz and I will make an appearance with my family on Monday for my birthday. You need to sing, start warming up your voices, all those 101 things. But to gear down to the more serious stuff, you guys will catch Let's Talk at the Fan Zone next week Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Here, I sit and watch the crowds go by. Yeah. But there's only one face I can see. If only they would understand. Yeah. I'd open the door and let 'em in. How long can I hide what I'm feeling inside? My love is a river that's gotta make its way to sea. This feeling can't hide. Lord knows I've tried. Beneath the sun.